Well, that's fantastic.
So now that Xbox Cloud Gaming is in the wild, you may find yourself wondering, what else can this do? Well, if you've got the right hardware, the answer is probably more than you might think. For instance, let's say you're going out of town, or your Xbox is broken, or you just need to move to a different room of the house. For whatever reason, bringing your console along isn't a good option. Could you swap your console for a phone for just a bit to keep the game going? Well, the short answer is yes, but you're going to need a few pieces of equipment, some of which are more expensive than others. I've usually got my face glued to a Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and the Note 10 Plus, like a lot of other Samsung phones, is pretty chill about external hardware. It can use mice, keyboards, flash drives, but the bit that helps us the most here is that the input port is also an output port. There's an obvious dirty joke, but since I've got a 3-year-old nearby, y'all can just go ahead and fill that one in yourselves. You're welcome. Not every phone does this. I'm going to link a page in the description with a list of phones that have video output, at least through USB-C, so you can plan your next splurge spending if nothing else. To use video output, you're going to need an adapter. My phone has a USB-C input port, and yours might be on USB micro, but there are options for both varieties. Remember, too, that Xbox Cloud Gaming is, at this time, still Android exclusive, so sorry, Apple users, it doesn't matter if you have a Thunderbolt video adapter, it's just not going to work. To my knowledge, you don't need a specific adapter. My adapter gives the phone a bit of power through a USB-C connection, and it has a USB-A port, so you can still plug in other devices if you need to. If you don't care about any of this, though, it's perfectly fine to go for an adapter with just an HDMI port on the output end. The most important part of all this, though, is going to be a serviceable internet connection. Stability is more important than speed here. My 40 down 10 up connection isn't breaking any speed records, but so long as there aren't 10 other devices streaming at the same time, it usually does the job without a whole lot of hiccups. AT&T, I guess you did all right this time. Once it's all plugged in and your controller is paired through the Bluetooth or on a wire, I guess, the app can be used entirely with a hooked up controller. No swiping necessary. Again, I find myself impressed with how well this thing works. It's a little fuzzy sometimes, sure, but here in these controlled settings with my fairly decent internet, the slowdowns are fairly minimal and there is some controller lag, but I feel like it's a bit less chaotic than just playing it on my small screen, if for no other reason than that it's easier to see what I'm doing. This footage is obviously a bit grainy. The graphics are going to be significantly downgraded from your console, especially with low downlink speed. It's not going to compare favorably to a console and a TV running at 4K, but if you're desperate and or curious enough to try this, I don't think you're going to be expecting that. It's functional, and I can at least tell what I'm looking at. The quality of your internet connection is going to be the Achilles heel here. In your home, you're probably not going to have a problem with it. You're going to have a much better connection than you would on the road or through a hotel Wi-Fi. That actually sounds like a good idea for a stress test video now that I think about it. And that's going to do it for this video. If you want more content like this, hit those magic buttons below and give me some ideas and such in the comments. I'm the Fox, and this has been Outhouse.